Coach, you get a big win in Lexington, 24-21 over the Wildcats. Going to try not to make it too much about that game, but first I got to ask, how's the team feeling, at least health-wise? How are you feeling? Are you guys feeling a little bit better after last week?
We are, yeah. We've had, obviously this time of year you're always going to have injuries that linger, and we came out of the game relatively healthy, which was good. And obviously I think the good result was a nice boost for us, and something that we want to do more of, celebrating big wins, in the locker room afterwards. And that's something that we want to get back to. So all is well.
Coach, emotions were high after the game. How do you quantify what a win like that means for your program, and especially after everything you guys went through last week, to be able to go up there and get a win? Just kind of, how do you quantify the meaning of that?
Honestly, the emotions for me had less to do with any kind of external feelings or validation, and it was just more about you care about a group of people and you put a lot into it. There's a lot of love and investment and sacrifice that goes into these weeks, and we've called this team into the fight every week, and they've followed us and have continued to improve and continued to show resilience and commitment and a belief in what we're building. And just to see them rewarded for that, it felt amazing. It was a great moment for this program early in. We were clear afterwards to say that we were going to celebrate it the right way, but also that we expect many more of these moving forward. And the first one's special, but as this program builds to the vision we have for it, we're gonna be talking about sustained success in this conference. And last Saturday was a first step. It was a gateway through which we step and then look to level up moving forward, but one that was special to all of those involved.
Coach, up on the wall behind us here, we've got dominate the red zone, and that was one of the things you guys were really able to do, especially defensively. Would you say that was a huge part of the game when Kentucky was able to get into the red zone? You gave up 3 instead of 6 most times.
Yeah, we talk all the time about the battle for points, and we always say each possession there's 7 points available, and when when you force field goals on defense, you win the possession 4-3, and that's how we see it. And this year we've too often allowed explosive touchdowns, or kind of like the dam's broken and the water's kind of flooded through at the end of drives. It was great to see us take stands there and forced field goal attempts, and that'll be a formula for us from here until whenever I'm finished. Is just trying to make an opponent go the long hard way, building to the stop and understanding that field goal attempts are wins for the defense.
You mentioned building to the stop. You got to believe you guys are building a little bit of an identity on offense, especially on the ground, with what the offensive line and Coach Blazek have been able to do. Mike Wright and Ray Davis both go over 100 yards apiece. So what did you like most about what you guys were able to get done in the run game, and how that kind of elevated the offense a little bit?
Well, we established space for the ball carrier. I thought we established a physical presence at the line of scrimmage, and when we've gotten our run game going, we've been able to get rhythm on offense. So you get into convertible third downs, and you stay on schedule, and it kind of everything else clicks into place. I thought Mike did a nice job of getting the ball on the perimeter as well, which was an issue earlier in the year. So we were able to stretch the defense horizontally and then puncture vertically in the run game. It was, it had good balance, and that's going to be a formula for us. Obviously, the more we maintain possession of the ball, the more we can control the game with our offense, which is going to be a part of our formula.
Coach, I want to ask you about your defensive strategy, of course, with your defensive coaches. 30 seconds left. Kentucky still has a chance to either tie or take the lead there. First play, I think you brought 3, and then you added a couple more guys there on 2nd and 3rd down and even 4th down. What was the goal there? What did you guys want to do there on that defensive possession, the last defensive possession, to really limit Kentucky from getting anywhere close to a field goal?
Well, we felt like the 4-man rush was important. I think when you drop 8, you give time and space to the opponent, and there's certainly times to do that. I think if that's a 2-possession game or an 8-point game, you're probably a little more willing to play, just keep the ball inside and in front early in the possession. But we felt like we needed to try to shorten the downs and create some pressure. We had gotten pressure throughout the day on the quarterback, and he's too good to give him time to sit back and pick you apart. And so, so we added the fourth rusher, and I thought the structure behind the rush was really good and sound, and it made it hard on them to find space, and that's the point. And those are lessons learned from this year, but certainly you can go back to the South Carolina game a year ago where we faltered in a 2-minute drive defensively, and had some really healthy conversations about what the combination is of coverage and rush that we need to be successful.
Coach, obviously this is your first time trying to regather the locker room after a big-time SEC win, first SEC win for you. You guys have done it before against non-conference teams, but what's the challenge there? Is that a new challenge for you guys? How are you guys approaching that this week?
I think at this point in the year, it's also rhythmic. I mean, we don't, I don't feel any different right now than I did a week ago. It's, this is a part of a bigger journey. We certainly didn't arrive Saturday. We had a positive event, and certainly what we feel like is, again, signs of progress, which we want to celebrate, but this is still about, again, the big picture journey and the mission that we're on. And so, we've developed this rhythm each week where, Monday's our chance to unpack the prior game. Once we get to Tuesday, it's all focused on the next opponent, and we have ways of measuring the energy and the output on practice to make sure that we're not letting anything linger from the week prior. And I feel good about the early work here towards Florida, but obviously we're going to need to finish our preparation to give ourselves the best chance we can to win on Saturday.
Coach, at the quarterback position, of course, Mike Wright played in the Kentucky game and ended up winning the game for you guys, helping lead to that victory. What's the approach this week? Of course, with A.J. Swann's status, you said he's questionable. What's the approach there this week?
Well, we got to see, what A.J. can get back for and what his availability is. If he's available to play on Saturday, great. And then, what has been the week, the body of work through the week that informs us of whether or not he's ready to help us win a game. We want to be fair to AJ and fair to the offense, and certainly fair to Mike Wright, who has proven himself more than capable and did a great job of leading this team to victory last weekend on the road. And so either way, we've got a good player behind center, and we have confidence that they can do what's needed to put our team in a good position.
Florida's playing good football right now, Coach. They went and dominated South Carolina at home. So what challenges do they present, especially with the way they have been able to run the football?
Yeah, physical run game on offense. Obviously it goes through the quarterback. He's a big skilled athlete that has a really strong arm and can make you pay getting the ball over the top. But obviously he also adds a component to their run game that's dangerous. Anytime you're talking about the quarterback running the ball, you're talking about having to play within a structure and having to have all 11 guys executing their responsibility, and that'll be important. The guys he hands the ball off to are also very capable and created explosive plays for that team last Saturday against South Carolina. It's a good offense, and it's an offense I think that's found an identity and that has a lot of confidence in who they are. Defensively, this team is a team that's disruptive, and they've forced a lot of turnovers. And they're simple in their structure, but they play hard, and again, they disrupt the ball. And so, our formula is going to have to be no self-inflicted wounds. We got to protect the football on offense, and then certainly play within our structure on defense to give our team the chance to win.
Coach, I don't think we'll be seeing any snow on Saturday. What do you think? I know we saw some in Lexington.
We'll be ready if we do, but hopefully the weather holds off and we have a nice day for football.
Early kick in Nashville, 11 a.m. Central Time on the SEC Network. It's the Florida Gators coming to town. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Great to be with you.